Welcome to the Firecracker guide. In this guide, I'll teach you exactly how to use the Firecracker. The Firecracker is a powerful item for its mere cost of only 3000 blood points, and in certain areas, it even excels a flashlight. The Firecracker instantly blinds and deafens the killer for 2 seconds. This is extremely useful as the killer can't track you through the blind unlike the flashlight. The Firecracker should be primarily used in situations where there's no other options to escape. It's important that you use the Firecracker when out of line of sight from the killer. By doing so, you effectively limit one of the killer's senses to detect the Firecracker, one being vision and the other one being sound. This will increase your chance of successfully getting a blind on the killer. If you simply drop the Firecracker in the open, right in front of the killer, well, then there's a higher possibility that the killer will simply dodge it. If you run around a loop with the Firecracker facing the loop, then it's harder for the killer to see the drop animation, unlike in the open. Another thing that can conceal their drop animation is falling from high places. Now be aware that you can't actually drop the Firecracker in air simply because there's no button for it, but the drop animation and fall animation are similar and can thus fool the killer. You can also help teammates in chases by running towards them and dropping the Firecracker in front of them and then circling around them and body blocking the killer. The Firecracker can also be used at windows and palace inputs, but it's a waste of potential of the Firecracker unless you're looking to make a play. In chases, you can use the Firecracker against killers and their powers. The Firecracker is able to stun the nurse instantly if she's charging her blink. When being chased by the nurse, simply drop the Firecracker wherever you believe the nurse is going to land. If the nurse then decides to charge her second blink, she will get stunned and blinded. Even if the nurse doesn't get stunned, it's still a very effective way of blinding her. The Firecracker will also stop Legion's power, but Legion can reactivate the power whenever he wants to again. This can be a very effective way of dealing with Legion, as most Legion players do not know of this as of yet. Be aware that Legion has no stun animation when this happens, similar to the flashlight, and if you're injured, it can work to Legion's advantage. However, if you're not injured, then it'll work to yours. The Firecracker can also instantly burn the Wraith. Use this when the Wraith has fully committed to uncloaking. Against the Spirit, the Firecracker can stop the Spirit's spacing power, similar to the flashlight. Using this in-game, however, might be a little bit more tricky. The Firecracker can also destroy multiple hack traps at once, effectively clearing an entire hack nest out. Even against killers, where the Firecracker doesn't stop their power, it's still very useful. You can use it against a Huntress when she's about to throw a hatchet at pallets, for instance, or even in the open. The same goes for Hillbilly when he's going to use his chainsaw, and the same also goes for Leatherface in close quarters. Basically, whenever a killer wants to use a power, you can use a Firecracker on them. Similar to the flashlight, the Firecracker can also save survivors from killers. There are a few ways this can be done. If you want to do it while the killer picks up a survivor, you have to do it about 2 seconds into the pickup animation. The detonation time for the Firecracker is about 1.1 seconds and the killer pickup time is approximately 3 seconds, so you can do the math. Another way of doing it is by ambushing the killer with the Firecracker. You can try and lay in wait at the hooks when doing this and staying out of line of sight as previously mentioned in chases. High grass and corn can also help conceal you. If there are none of these things available to you, you can try and turn the side with the Firecracker away from the killer when you drop it. That way they will not see the animation at least. If possible, try and follow up with a body block on the killer to prevent him from hooking the survivor before the Firecracker detonates. This obviously doesn't work every time, as the Firecracker makes a lot of noise when detonated and dropped, and killers are generally more aware when going to hook survivors than chasing you. However, doing this way will certainly increase your chance of getting a blind in. The Firecracker completely counters Lightborn, as Lightborn has no influence on blind time and duration at all. Fragment Surmise can knock at the Firecracker, but can never destroy it. To prevent being blinded by your own Firecracker, just make sure your survivor model is facing away from the Firecracker. It's also possible to blind other survivors with the Firecracker as well. If a Firecracker is dropped nearby the killer, you will get an audio cue of it. The Firecracker can blind the killer beyond the traditional 180 degrees as demonstrated here, which is why you sometimes can get some pretty absurd blinds in on the killer with it. The Firecracker can't blind straight behind the killer though. There are currently 2 different variations of the Firecracker, the Chinese Firecracker and the festive one. Apart from appearance, these are the exact same. However, the festive one is superior to the Chinese firecracker, simply because it's less visible. The Chinese firecracker can be obtained during the Chinese festive event and moonrise event. The festive firecracker can be obtained during the winter solstice. During the event, you can find at least 3 of them per block whip for only 3,000 block points. During the event, the firecracker can also be obtained through chests. This is the best time to practice these tricks. Just bring a firecracker into the match and use the chest offering, and you can usually get around 3 tries per match. There are currently no add-ons for the firecracker, but the developers have mentioned that they want to add add-ons to the firecracker in the previous stream. However, this was about 2 years ago, so don't get your hopes up. I hope you enjoyed this short guide that I made, and thanks for watching.